Today on Vallovision News, UM is preparing to celebrate its 128th Founders Day. We've got a preview of the day's special events.
And T-Mobile presented a big check that will make a big impact on campus. Find out how UM will use the money. Plus,
bracing for impact, Florida residents are preparing for Hurricane Milton to make landfall. Now the monster storm is triggering one of the largest evacuations from the Sunshine State seen in recent years. Vallovision starts right now. Hello and welcome to Vallovision News. I'm Holly Mann.
And I'm Taylor Walker. Thanks so much for watching. We'll get to more information about Hurricane Milton strengthening to a Category 5 storm in just a few minutes. But first, the University of Vallo is preparing to celebrate its 128th birthday this week at Founders Day. The ceremony will be held Thursday, October 10th at 11 a.m. in Palmer Auditorium. The event marks the first time the senior class will put on their graduation gowns. Judge Adrian Moffett-Powell, a 2003 UM graduate, will deliver the keynote address. Students, remember that classes meeting between 11 a.m. and 1:45 p.m. are dismissed this Thursday. Seniors should be dismissed from classes that morning at 10:15 in order to line up for the processional. You can watch the live stream of the Founders Day Convocation on Vallo 4U YouTube channel, produced by UM students in the Mass Comm program. Part of the Founders Day festivities include a dedication ceremony for the recent Harmon Hall renovations. The dedication and open house will be held at 2 p.m. in Harmon Atrium.
SGA is partnering with Lifestyle to host a blood drive on campus this week. Appointments to donate can be made via Falcon Link on October 8th and 9th. The drive will be held outside of Anna Irvin Dining Hall from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Also, happening this week, UM will host an open house for the recently renovated Vaca Hall. The open house is Wednesday, October 9th from noon until 1. Vaca Hall, which was damaged by a tornado in 2022, was completely renovated to create coaches' offices and locker rooms for lacrosse, wrestling, and acrobatics and tumbling. In other news, we are less than a month away from the presidential election, and UM is helping people register in time to vote on November 5th. There will be a voter registration rally on campus this Wednesday, October 9th. Volunteers can help you register to vote from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. in Carmichael Library. You can also ask questions about what to expect when you go to vote. The event is sponsored by the Montevallo chapter of American Association of University Women and the Office of Engaged Education and Public Service. Remember, the last day to register to vote to be able to vote in the election is October 21st. UM Granger Community Counseling and Wellness Clinic will be getting a new playground and accessible parking.
And it's all thanks to the grant from T-Mobile. Representatives from T-Mobile presented the $50,000 check last Tuesday. The clinic, which was founded in 2023, provides free counseling and wellness services to rural residents of Central Alabama. The presentation was part of the Pack the Sack volleyball match against Mississippi College. It includes pre-game festivities for fans. The Falcons lost in the match in 4 sets. Remember, there's always more news on our social media pages. Just search Vallovision News on Instagram, Facebook, and X.
Still ahead on Vallovision News, helping pets displaced by Hurricane Helene. See how teams of volunteers are working to save these helpless animals.
Plus, a party in the streets, how Vanderbilt students celebrated their shocking win over top-ranked Crimson Tide. We'll be right back.
Create your future as a social media manager, filmmaker, journalist, and so much more with a degree in communication studies and mass communication. Visit montevallo.edu/COFA for more information. You belong at Montevallo.
Welcome back to Vallovision News. Hurricane Milton has strengthened into a Category 5 storm as it churns in the record-warm Gulf of Mexico. Floridians are bracing for the second major hurricane in less than 2 weeks. Milton could decrease in strength before making landfall around Tampa Bay on Wednesday night. Milton could bring record storm surge to the Tampa Bay area just 2 weeks after Helene devastated the region. Florida is starting what could be its largest evacuation efforts since 2017. Officials are issuing both mandatory and voluntary evacuation orders for at-risk areas.
More help is on the way to storm-ravaged North Carolina. When Hurricane Helene came ashore more than a week ago, it caused extensive damage to roads and bridges. The Federal Transportation Department announced Saturday it is sending $100 million in emergency funds so workers can start fixing those roads and bridges. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg says the goal is to get roads repaired and reopened quickly, but some of the damage will take several months to repair.
Parts of I-40, North Carolina's DOT is telling us that at best case scenario, it is months before they are permanently restored.
Government is using money from Federal Highway Administration emergency relief programs to pay for the repairs. The aftermath of Hurricane Helene has left at least 227 people dead and many others still missing. It also displaced a population of human companions.
Some animal shelters without electricity and basic necessities are racing against the clock to clear facilities of animals that they are no longer able to care for.
Stories of survival and resilience are emerging from Hurricane Helene, but what of one of the most vulnerable populations? If these evacuees could talk,
let's go,
they might have some tales to tell.
These dogs were living in shelters for days with absolutely no electricity. So it was pitch black, 24/7, no water, 1 or 2 staff may be able to get to the shelter to care for them.
150 dogs and cats have already been taken in by 3 animal rescues in Virginia. The animals came from 2 North Carolina shelters, according to the Richmond SPCA. Asheville, North Carolina was one of the hardest hit communities by Hurricane Helene. This local animal shelter was not immune.
It's really hard to describe to people what is happening here.
The Brother Wolf Animal Rescue says it was able to get all its pets to safety, but now the conditions are not habitable. Brother Wolf needs to relocate 150 animals.
To see our shelter underwater, I mean, we're walking through mud that is knee deep.
Dozens of animals displaced by the disaster were flown from Florence, South Carolina to their new home in Wisconsin Wednesday, where a coalition of organizations were standing at the ready to take them in.
Welcome to Wisconsin.
We know that within a half hour, an hour or so, they're going to start relaxing and they're going to start feeling this comfort of, oh, I'm saved.
I'm Sherelle Hubbard reporting.
It is a game Vanderbilt University students won't forget. The unranked team knocked off #1 Alabama on Saturday. The final score
was 40-35. Students paraded around the goalpost they tore down after the historic win and tossed it into the Cumberland River. This was the first time Vandy has beaten an Associated Press top-ranked team. It also snapped Vanderbilt's 23-game losing streak against Alabama. The team's last win over the Crimson Tide was in 1984. Remember, there's always more news from our team of reporters on our website, vallovisionnews.com.
That's all the time we have for today's show.
Thanks for watching, and be sure to tune in to Wednesday for the episode of The Buzz. Have a great week.